Welcome to Valorantics for all your Valorant news and updates. We have Sentinels potentially leaking their own 5th member on their own official websites. This has all but confirmed who Sentinels' 5th member is. We also have Cloud9 officially announcing their roster, and it is looking like an absolute god squad. We have confirmed from Riot buffs to Cypher coming very soon. We of course have a brand new act, along with it the new agent Harbour, and changes to the way the Immortal Leaderboard is going to work. There's a lot to talk about. Let's just jump into it. I know I look different from the intro. It's because by the time my editor finished this video and we had it ready to post, Sentinels has now officially announced Def as their 5th and final member. Originally, what I was talking about in the video was George pointed out on Twitter, if you went to Sentinels website and you went to buy some merch, you could actually buy a jersey of Def, pretty much revealing and leaking themselves that Def was the 5th and final member. And now by the time I posted the video, they have officially announced it. So obviously that's why I look a little bit different. That does round out the absolute god roster. We have 10s, which they first announced they were going to build the squad around 10, so he is still remaining. Then we picked up Sassy and Pancata from the Loud team, the world champions, and we've already picked up Zekin from XZ. Def made a lot of sense. XZ teammate as well, so Zekin and Def already have that team chemistry. You have Sassy and Pancata that already have that team chemistry, and then you're building it all around 10s. This roster looks absolutely insane. I do find it interesting that I'm pretty sure it was because of George and other people figuring this out and making content on it that Sentinels pushed their announcement out. The announcement is cool, don't get me wrong, but it did give a little bit of a feel of being rushed. I'm pretty sure someone dropped the ball here and put this into the Sentinels store early, which now caused them to force their announcement a little bit early, but it was still super exciting. We now have Cloud9's full roster, which I'll talk about in a second, and Sentinels' full roster, and for our first 2 full rosters on NA, this upcoming tournaments are looking absolutely ridiculous. These teams are insane. We have official confirmation from Riot that Cypher is going to be getting a buff in an upcoming update. This is not a leak. This is from an interview with Rivington and a few Riot employees.
It says allude to Cypher, look at Fate's Prowlers. What's kind of on the docket that might be on people's Valorant patches coming up? Yeah, so something that players can look forward to is we are buffing Cypher. That'll be coming soon. We are, yep. And is his head tinier when you take his hat off? Even tinier. Yes! That sounds neat.
Unfortunately, they didn't give any real information over exactly what they're going to be changing around Cypher's kit. As we know, Cypher has received nerf after nerf, and unfortunately right now is really only picked in very high-level competitive play on certain maps with certain strategies. He really isn't almost ever picked in low-ranked play, and even when he does, you almost always assume the Cypher is going to be terrible, or if you pick him yourself, you end up, helping your team, but as soon as your team doesn't want to listen or they don't go off your communication, there's just really not much you can do. He just doesn't really feel like he has that big power impact play, especially trying to pull off plays around yourself. With all the other Sentinels now, you can really still, like Chamber. Compare it to Chamber, how much you can do for a team, even if they're not listening to you while playing him. So it'll be interesting to see what they change, but like I said, Cypher is still chosen pretty often in high level play, and if they buff him too much, it could make him a little bit OP on that level. So I'm excited to see what they do. It's going to be a touchy one. Valorant just dropped the newest act, and along with it, the newest agent Harbour. He is a controller. He has a water wall that is very, very mobile. It is like a Viper wall that you could turn like a Phoenix wall. It's incredibly strong, really fun to play around. He also has an orb that he can throw down that you cannot shoot from outside in or inside out. It has a total durability of 500. It allows for some really, really fun plays, especially when it comes to planting and then diffusing. Utility does still go through it that does not create damage as a weapon. So jet knives, chamber ult, obviously things like that will not go through the bubble, but you can still shoot in mollies, which is one of the adjustments a lot of people are asking for to potentially have tweaked. He also has a water wall, again, that he can just shoot in a straight line and stop it. Any player who walks through this or his other water wall will be slowed. A lot of people worry that he will not be a solo controller agent. You will need to play him alongside another controller, which we have seen some double controller comps come out quite a lot in high competitive play. It's gonna be interesting to see how he fits into the meta, but he is a very fun, unique character. I've been enjoying playing around with him a whole bunch. Obviously, we have a new battle pass, and we also have some changes to the way that Immortal is going to work in certain regions. So they pointed out that we've seen an increasing number of you enter the Immortal Leaderboard, even after raising the MMR requirement for Immortal. We agree with feedback that in some regions, there are too many players on the leaderboard, and after a certain number, leaderboard rank loses a lot of its luster. We are rolling out a cap to the amount of players that can appear on the leaderboard on a region by region basis. This will not take away the achievement of reaching Immortal, but until you're in the top X amount of players, players, you will not appear on the leaderboard. So obviously kind of like Radiant, where it only shows the top 500, Immortal is only going to show the top X amount. So for Korea and Latam is 5,000 alongside Brazil, NA is 10K, AP is 15K, and Europe is 15K. So in those regions, you're going to have to get in that top amount to even be seen on the leaderboard. But as far as it goes for gun buddies and other achievements, you will still have your Immortal rank. I'm sure you already saw it, as everybody did, but we had the official roster announcement of C9. We still have remaining members Leaf, Vanity, and Zeppa, and then we have confirmed Ye from Optic and then Zelsis from Sentinels at the end of last season. This roster is looking absolutely ridiculous. Everyone was had eyes on where Ye was going, and the rumors of Ye going to C9 have been confirmed. They hyped it up a lot. The trailer, the announcement was incredibly exciting. This has obviously sparked a lot of rumors and a lot of conversation around how much these players are getting paid. George on his stream actually went on to talk about how a lot of these players, a lot of the top tier players, are getting between $10,000 to $30,000 a month, with Ye being one of, if not the highest paid players in Valorant right now. This is obviously NA, not Europe. I do want to say potentially I would imagine that Tens would be on a higher salary than Ye, not just because of what he offers as a player, but also his content and just his general fan base that follows him to whatever org he goes to. But either way, with that Sentinels roster I announced earlier, and now this C9 roster, NA Valorant is looking absolutely ridiculous. I did want to mention a lot of people are quite confused around exactly how the rosters are working right now. All of these rosters are technically still pending approval from Riot. We had Jake Sin from Riot say roster approvals have started going out to our teams. Damn excited for the official announcement from teams soon. So we're not really sure which teams have had official confirmation of that being their roster. I imagine if they're making fully produced announcement videos like C9 just have, you would have to imagine that has been approved by Riot if they're advertising it that heavily. But again, a lot of those teams like Sentinels, like NRG, will probably have to get their official confirmation before they make those videos. I'm fully expecting to see those videos come out recently from the new orgs as well, because so far Sentinels has set the standard of the org announcements and they're looking pretty good. Moving on to skin news, we have the new bundle, the Ion 2.0 bundle with a Frenzy, Vandal, Ares, Spectre, and Karambit. The Karambit styles are beautiful. This is going to set you back 7,100 points though, so it is quite pricey. But those of you guys who are freaking out about the price of these bundles, or maybe you've got your strapped for cash and you have a set amount of money, I would maybe implore you to hold on to your coins a little bit longer, because the give back bundle is back from November 16th to 30th. 50% of proceeds from weapon skins and 100% of proceeds from accessories in the give back bundle will go towards the Riot Games Social Impact Fund in partnership with Impact Assets. So you get to buy some cosmetics, you get to flex them, and you know you're giving back to a good cause. So I wanted to make sure that people knew to keep their eye out for that one. And maybe if the Ion 2.0 bundle doesn't tickle your fancy too much, hold on to those points. You've got something very good to spend them in the near future. If you made it this far, you must have enjoyed it. Please chuck a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.